It's Workout Wednesday. You guys want to know the secret to longevity? Because all of us out here, we at least 29 and we youngin' and running like we children. The secret to longevity is taking care of your body. So twice a week, me and my boys are out here, we running routes, we catching, we doing what we gotta do, our thug, Thizzle.
I can't see that.
Oh, well, I did the ball spin thing where I can do that. Now, just because I'm Uncle Cali, I'm gonna let you know on another secret. The secret text to win in this format. Let's jump on in. So one thing I probably didn't tell you about this lovely chair is that it's adjustable. Oh yeah, that's perfect height. It even has heat and massage options. This is a secret tech. The first card I want to bring to your attention is a card that I already talked to you about as a card that you should buy before it skyrockets in price. Dimensional Barrier made his debut in the Invasion Vengeance set and has been reprinted as an Ultra and a Common afterward. What this card does is that you can declare one type, Ritual, Synchro, Fusion, Pendulum, or Exceed, and for the rest of the turn, monsters with the declared type are negated, and on top of that, neither player can special summon the monster of the declared type for the rest of the turn. This card is amazing in a format where we move away from links, and seeing that Tri-Brigade is the only deck that link summons religiously, all of the other strategies perform one of those functions. Whether it's Ritual summoning with Drytron, Fusion summoning with Shadal, or even Exceed summoning and Synchro summoning with Virtual World and Sword Soul, Dimensional Barrier literally ends these decks' turns. This card is super impactful for the next upcoming meta and can literally win you a game just by shedding off your opponent when they want to summon the cards that they want to summon the most. Now this card bursts onto the scene as it is a card that I talked about that you should consider picking up from Burst of Destiny. Giant Starfall is actually an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh card, and I'm not gonna cap. Ever since I started the budget series, every card that has been common, I've been looking at with some type of eyes. What Giant Starfall does is that you can target a monster on the field that does not have a level. Its effects cannot be activated, and a monster without a level cannot be activated in response. The monster's attack is reduced to 0, but the monster can't be destroyed by battle that turn. This is almost inconsequential sometimes. You can use this card on an opponent's Appaloosa Bowl if the goddess reduces its attack to 0, and it's not gonna go back up. Use it when your opponent summons Predaplant Vert Anaconda, and well, now they can't make Dragoon or Destiny Hero Phoenix Enforcer. But one thing I forgot to mention is that you can also use this card on Exceed monsters as they don't have a level either. Divine Arsenal AA Zeus is normally a culprit, being able to reduce its attack to 0 and prevent your opponent from responding with Zeus's effect. Magnifico! Giant Starfall is also a card that's searchable through Trap Trick and Lady Limit, the cool Lady Dark card. Echo, show them the card. Show them that card. Yeah. Yeah, you thought she could mess with me with your words and stuff, but now you see the card. Giant Starfall is seriously a sleeper Yu-Gi-Oh card, and thank the heavens that it's a common. Now, if dealing with pesky floodgates or face-up spell and trap cards just so happen to be your problem, don't worry, Uncle Cali got your back. Unending Nightmare is a very powerful trap card that can just might be the answer to these problems. What this card does is that once per chain, you can pay 1,000 of your life points to destroy a face-up spell or trap card on the field. Now this card is completely bonkers against a lot of Yu-Gi-Oh cards, but not against every Yu-Gi-Oh card. Work with me. For you glue eaters and some players that just may not know, just because you destroy the card doesn't mean you always stop its effect. Let's take for example if you use Unending Nightmare in response to Lightning Storm, well, Lightning Storm will still resolve, but there are some cards that need to be face-up on the field to resolve in order for their effects to go through. Let's take for example Magical Meltdown, a card that adds that clever Alistair the Invoker from the deck to the hand. If you just so happen to Unending Nightmare the activation of Magical Meltdown, well, your opponent won't be able to add Alistair because it needs to resolve face-up on the field. This card also gets rid of very annoying floodgates like Rairu the Warlords and Gozen match, and then can deal away with other cards like Imperial Order and Anti-Spell Fragrance because it's a spell and trap card destruction that, not a spell. Unending Nightmare can literally be the unending nightmare for an opponent that has a ton of face-up cards that they want to resolve. Now moving back to a card that I mentioned in my buy these cards before it skyrockets in price video, go ahead and check that out because good videos produce good things. There's another card that you probably should be looking at as a pretty good secret deck. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is a very good card from the Cross Soul set, and basically what it does, when a monster or face-up spell card on the field activates its effect, you can discard or send this card from your field to the graveyard to destroy it. Ghost Ogre has a few intangibles that other hand traps does not, like being able to activate its effect from the field, and also being a psychic monster, which means it can be special summoned from emergency teleport, but it also has some other niche interactions. Take for example, Appaloosa Bow of the Goddess needs to be able to reduce its attack by 800 to be able to negate the monster effect, which means if you activate a monster effect and your opponent uses Appaloosa in response, you can just activate Ghost Ogre and Ghost Ogre that. This card is also fairly good against Sword Soul as they need that monster to stick on the field to be able to synchro summon with. Yeah, you'll get the token to your side of the field, but what you gonna do with it again? There's also other cool interactions with Ghost Ogre, like being able to stop your opponent's Virtual World Gate Chuchi from destroying a card on the field, because that would need to be able to be on the field on resolution to be able to do its effects. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit is a spicy Italiano tech, guys. Magnifico, 10 stars. This is a card you should probably look into playing. Ghost Ogre and Snow Rabbit will soon join its other Ghost Girls into competitive contention, unlike Moonlit Chill, and I really spent $20 each on Dogwoods. Pray for me, Echo. Pray for me. With hand effects and monster negation being so prevalent in this format, I just thought that I'd bring back a lovely Xseed monster that can take over a game. Trap Tricks for Felicia made its debut in Breakers of Shadow. How do I know this? I have no idea, but this card's good. Trap Tricks for Felicia has quite the bit of effects, but the only one we're going to focus on is that you can activate trap hole cards from your deck as long as this card is on the field. So basically what I'm telling you is that there's hand traps, and then there's trap cards that can activate in the graveyard, and then there's this card that allows you to activate trap cards from your deck. Talk about genuinely being in the trap. I mean, God. Now, Trap Tricks for Felicia can easily be made with 2 level 4 monsters, and the trap hole cards you can activate are tremendous. 2 that I want to highlight is Gravedigger's Trap Hole. If you are playing a deck that's scared of Nibiru, or you just don't like when your opponent activates graveyard or hand effects, this card can stop those effects and inflict 2,000 damage to your opponent. Now, if stopping your opponent's hand or graveyard is too much for you, you want to have a fair game and not blow them completely out of the water, well, let's stop those pesky monster effects. There's an amazing trap hole card that isn't necessarily summon dependent. I mean, I kind of guess it is, but at the same time, if your opponent's special summoning a monster to use its effect, they're special summoning the monster and using its effect. Trap Tricks Trap Hole Nightmare allows you to negate the activation of a monster that is using its effect on the turn summoned and destroy it. This is a perfecto type trap hole card because again, we're in an effect heavy meta. Now there are a couple of matchups I would love to single out that Trap Tricks for Felicia just completely addresses. Drytron, since they activate cards from the hand, but also there's Tri-Brigade, which wants to use Fractal and of course Nerval and Kit's effect in graveyard, and then there's Sword Soul monsters. They activate monster effects on field, and they have the one that activates in hand. Trap Tricks for Felicia is the literal trap house right now. Don't sleep on this card or you'll be falling into a deep hole you might not be able to recover from. Now, because we're moving into a format where Xseeds, fusions, and synchro monsters are going to be more prevalent, this card actually got a lot stronger. If you ever had to deal with your opponent summoning a huge board on their side of the field, have you ever realized that most of those cards don't have Omni negations to stop spell cards? Well, I mean, here's another great one. Book of Eclipse is an amazing Yu-Gi-Oh card, and basically what it does is that you can flip all monsters on the field to face down defense position. During the end phase, all monsters are flipped back face up, and your opponent will draw a card for every card flipped face up. That seems like a bad Yu-Gi-Oh card, and we never want to give our opponent cards to their hand for, just stopping them for a turn, but hear me out. This is like groundbreaking on how to fix this card. Don't let them flip back face up. I know. I know. You guys can. Yeah, I know. Praise. Yes. Thank you. No more applause, please. Book of Eclipse is incredible for dealing with virtual world boards as Shin-Chi and Crystal Wing can be flipped face down, and even the new Destiny hero Phoenix Enforcer won't be able to destroy cards if he's face down. Also, if you really need your opponent to end their turn, this can flip all of your opponent's monsters face down, preventing them from making Link and Xyz summons, and can also address certain Xyz monsters on the field. Sometimes even letting them draw cards doesn't matter because it's the end of their turn. It's gonna be my turn and then I can win. Book of Eclipse is literally Book of Moon on drugs, allowing you to flip your opponent's entire board face down, allowing you to eventually go for the kill because of it. Well, that is all that I have for secret tech cards that will win you games. I genuinely think that this is a very comprehensive and well-explained list. But of course, if there are some secret techs that you feel that I missed, go ahead and let everybody know. The more techs we can share, the better. Of course, if you want to see more amazing TheCaliEffect content, go ahead and check out these videos, as I'll catch you on the next one.